Hi, I'm Tawila and I've been lashing for 3 years. This channel is dedicated to all things lashes and beauty, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to do a perfect mixed set. In today's video, I'm going to be using my Rainbow Baby Juniors for placing, and I'm going to be using my Curvy Babes for isolation. And for my lashes, I'm going to be using 0.05 in Original LivBay, and I'm going to be using 0.15 Classics. And I'm also going to be using Mega Bond for my adhesive. So my client's already prepped and taped, so I did use my LivBay iPads and I did tape her with the blue tape, which is for sensitive clients. Alright, so my client is all taped up and ready for her mixed fill. You can see that she has less than 50% of her lashes, so we are going to go ahead and move forward with an upcharge today. If you do need tips on how to upcharge, go ahead and click the video on the link above. Alright, so before lashing, I'm going to go in, I'm going to prep her lashes with the Prep Me Up primer. This is just to make sure all the dirt and oil is off and we're starting with a clean base. And then I'm just gonna go in, and I like to use my fan just to make sure that her eyes don't burn or anything like that. And it kind of helps dry them faster too. Go in and do that. And do both eyes. When you're doing mixed lashes, it's a good rule of thumb to just consider them to be 50% classic lashes and 50% volume fans. Mixed can also be considered hybrid. They're the same thing, they're just worded differently. I'm just going through and I'm making sure that she has all her outgrown ones off before we start with her fill. And I'm just using the banana peel method. And then for her fill, we are doing the cat eye look. So she's gonna focus her length on her ends. What I like to do when I go in with mixed, I always like to lay my fans out first, and then I like to go in with the classics to finish off the fill. That's just what works with me, and that's what helps me get the 50-50 look. I always like to explain to my clients that mixed means 50% classic lashes and 50% volume fans. Sometimes clients get a little confused and they think that mixed means that you're mixing the lengths or you're mixing the curls, and that's just texturizing lashes, and that'll be a whole nother video. Just know that today we're focusing on mixed sets and doing 50% lashes, classic, and 50% volume. When doing mixed, I like to go ahead and go in with my fans first, just because I like to create that base. And obviously if you're starting fresh with a full set, you want to create that style, whether she's doing cat eye, open eye, or the length across. I like to go in with the fans just to create that outline, and then go in with my classics at the end just to fill them in. That's what helps me stay on track and to make sure that I have the 50% lashes, classic, and fans. It's super important when you're doing mixed to stay in that 50-50 ratio, because most of the time clients, when they're booking mixed, they want a little bit more than a natural look, but they don't want to be too dramatic. If you do have a client that comes in and say they want a more dramatic mixed look, that will be your time to go ahead and upgrade them to the volume fill or set, just because you want to make sure that you're charging correctly for what service you're providing. So now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to place my fans. I'm going to help create that shape again. And again, we are just doing that cat eye shape today. And that cat eye just means that she likes her length more on the ends. I also like placing my fans first just because it kind of helps keep me on track time-wise. My turn times are about an hour, and that's why I'm able to do the 30 minutes of fans and the 30 minutes of classics. Wherever you're at right now with your turn times, just try to keep in mind to do half the time fanning and half the time doing classics, and that'll keep you right on track to make sure that you're not getting them too fluffy and not making them too natural. I feel like it's super important to keep that ratio 50-50 when doing mixed fills or full sets. I've just noticed from my clientele that they normally want a little bit more fullness than what classics provide. So the mix is that perfect in-between look, and it gives them a natural look and a little bit of fullness without making it too dramatic. I'm just going to continue going in and filling her in with the fans and making sure I have that 50% base, and then I'm going to go back in and fill her in the rest with the classic lashes. Sometimes if you can't really see from the top on how dense your fans are, you can always use a little magnifying mirror and just look from the front just to kind of see how full she is already, and then you can see if you're good to go and go ahead and start adding in the classics. All right, so now you see that she has a nice little base of fans, so now I'm just gonna go in and start filling her in with classic lashes. And you're just gonna follow the same base that you put in before, just following that cat eye map. A client that would be a good candidate for mixed lashes would be someone that wants to stay on the natural side, but their lashes aren't necessarily strong enough to hold all classics. So sometimes clients just need that little extra boost that the volume fans give you, and they can still be natural, but then they just get that little extra fullness. All right, so I just went and finished placing my last lash. So as you can see, she's still nice and full, but she's a little bit more on the natural side. I always like to double check with my little magnifying mirror just to check it out and make sure she's not too fluffy and not too natural. It's a little perfect mixed. If you follow that 50-50 ratio, you should be good no matter what. So just try to keep in mind when lashing to always try to follow that 50-50 ratio. The 50% classic and 50% volume fans. And then just before we untape her, I like to lift on the eyelid just a little bit just to make sure she has no stickies. Nothing sticking to the iPad. They look good. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my mister and help cure the glue. An alternative to using the mister would be using our Climax bonder. I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna dry her lashes now. And I'm just gonna remove her eye pads while I'm drying her, just to help dry those fumes a little bit more before she opens her eyes. Sticking or poking. All right, so you can see that she has that perfect in-between look. She has the right amount of natural lashes, also with a little bit of fluff. Remember when you're doing your mixed lashes to maintain that 50-50 ratio as best as you can, because that's going to guarantee that you're going to give them that natural but fluffy look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it brought a ton of value to you. A question for you: have you ever tried doing a mixed set? Leave your answers in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.